Chapter 25 is called Mother and Daughter. Bodkin and Wish parted ways to the door of Wish's house in the middle of the fort. Wish lived in a house all on her own, for princesses were so grand that they had houses to themselves, which was a little lonely, but showed their status. Bodkin was feeling surprisingly gloomy, for now it was all over. He was a hero no more, just an ordinary assistant bodyguard. It had been one stolen day, one glorious 24 hours, where he could ride and fight beside a princess, just as if he were her equal and a proper warrior himself. Now, Bodkin said to Wish, trying to sound more cheerful than he felt, we can all go back to being normal, princess. You give me the spoon and I'll take it back to the kitchen where it can return to life being an ordinary dinner spoon. It's time to give up magic things, just like you promised me. Yes, said Wish thoughtfully. But then I have still got the spelling book, haven't I? Maybe I'll give up the spoon tomorrow. All right then, agreed Bodkin. You promise you will tomorrow? I promise, said Wish. Good night, Wish, said Bodkin. Good night, spoon. Good night, said Wish, shyly taking Bodkin's hand. Princess, said Bodkin, for something had been bothering him. That fainting thing that happened a little bit tonight, you don't think that's going to be a problem, do you, with my future in bodyguarding? Is there any other profession you would like to be interested in? Said Wish tactfully. Well, yes, as it happens, I've always wanted to be a fool, and I'm quite good at the whole storytelling thing, but that's not the point, said Bodkin. The point is, all my family have been bodyguards, so I have to be one, and am I going to be any good at it with the slight fainting issue? I'm sure you'll grow out of that, said Wish, kindly. Tomorrow, maybe. But in the meantime, look what brilliant bodyguarding you did just then. You're a hero and a very good friend. I'm not a hero. I am an assistant bodyguard, said Bodkin, very relieved, and that is what an assistant bodyguard is for, to assist. But he didn't deny that he was the princess's friend, and then they both went to bed. The princess to her raw bed of goose down feathers, and the assistant bodyguard to his bed of straw underneath the kitchen table. They both slept soundly, for it had been a tiring night, what with one thing and another. But everything cannot be the same as it always was, of course. Once an assistant bodyguard has been on an adventure like this one, he is changed forever. Like the enchanted spoon, he had been burned at the edges by witches' fire and scorched by the breath of sprites. He had opened his eyes in the wizard's camp, he had listened to the speech of ravens, and they had made him see things from their point of view. I may have said this before, but this can be the problem with adventures, which is why Bodkin's father was so very against them. Meanwhile, Sycorax had a long, long night all alone in that darkness, and she had plenty of time for thinking. Who knows? She may have even learned a lesson or two. This is, after all, what a dungeon is for. And when eventually the guard woke up and unlocked the prison cell where she was trapped, Queen Sycorax ran out of the door and straight to the chamber of magic removal, for she had heard the commotion of the night before, and she had imagined all sorts of terrible possibilities about what might be happening. She saw the stone, the sword, she read the note, and that chilly queen turned colder still. Queen Sycorax was no fool. The note said it was from Tsar, but the handwriting on the note, the spelling, made the queen immediately think of Wish. She ran, not even gliding this time, to the platform, up to the surface, through the streets of the hill fort, passing the staring eyes of the citizens, her beautiful golden hair, an absolute bird's nest shock of electric horror that would take her a week to brush out. And she was lucky to be able to brush it out at all. Sometimes sprites can mess up your hair with such intricate magic that the only solution is to cut it off in time. She ran straight to the house where Wish lived. Queen Sycorax did not go there often, for queens are very busy and they do not always have time to visit their children like normal people. Bursting into Wish's room, Sycorax found her daughter fast asleep, snoring on the bed, and the queen let out a sigh of relief. Relief turned quickly to anger, as so often it will. She gave her daughter a gentle shake to wake her up. Wish opened a sleepy eye and was immediately electrically awake when she saw her mother standing over her like an enraged iceberg. Oh dear. Good morning, mother, asked Wish. Said Wish, gulped Wish warily. We'll have to see what Wish and her mother have to say to each other tomorrow. See you then.